Hi there. Welcome to the Graduate Researcher Know-How series and this set of workshops devoted to developing academic style and grammar. This workshop explores nominalisation and word choice in more detail. In this workshop, we'll explore the functions of nominalisation in academic writing by conducting text analysis on thesis extracts. Then we'll briefly explore the ways in which word choice can bring your research topic to life by mirroring its key motifs or messages. Nominalisation is the term we use to describe the process of turning actions into things, concepts, or people. That is, verbs are transformed into noun phrases. From to nominalise to the nominalisation of, to react, the reaction of or by, to emphasize, the emphasis on, to improve, improvements in or improvements to. Nominalisation makes the language sound more formal, and it allows for the concise expression of more abstract concepts. It also leaves the verbs to play the important role of demonstrating key links or relationships between ideas in sentences. Often when supervisors say a piece of writing is not academic, they mean there's not enough nominalisation. But if we use too much nominalisation, the writing becomes more difficult to understand. So there's a balance that we have to aim for. Compare these two paragraphs. In the paragraph demonstrating casual or informal style, notice that there are more verbs that are marked in blue, and the personal pronoun you is used. We understand this writing to be addressing practitioners, doers, such as farmers or agricultural scientists. Now, a quick glance at the academic style on the right shows how many red noun phrases there are compared to verbs. The nominalised phrases are underlined. There's no you in this paragraph, making it more academic, more objective, and more conceptual than practical, even though it is discussing a very practical issue. Another important observation to make is that without nominalisation, we're forced to use more linking words between sentences, such as in addition or furthermore. While these are useful, we don't want to overuse them, so nominalisation can help us to balance our use of these linking words. If you'd like to look more closely and compare these two texts, just pause the video now. In this paragraph, many of the nominalisations into nouns and noun phrases could become activated as verbs for a more casual, more lengthy account. How many of them can you find? Pause the video now to read. Here's the answer key. I've identified 11 verbs that have been nominalised. That's a lot in a single paragraph, isn't it? You can see that by turning them into noun phrases, the text becomes more concise. Notice the verbs marked in blue. These emphasise relationships between ideas or denote research actions, such as the final sentence, optimisation of the system to reduce manufacturing costs is considered here. Pause this again if you'd like to look more closely. In this paragraph, we can see how often a nominalised phrase is followed by the preposition of and then another noun phrase. The noun phrases in red can be seen as attributes of the noun phrases underlined in dark blue or black. Again, we see the verbs in blue taking on the important role of indicating clear relationships between the complex ideas. Let's look at them more closely. The verb explains is a reporting verb attributed to Poyner, and it suggests a form of analysis. The verb led to marks a cause and effect relationship. The copula is marks a relationship of equivalence, as in A equals B. The verb notes is a reporting verb, marking a significant observation or research finding. Have felt constrained by marks an important reaction by A, that is designers, to B, a modernist definition of their role. A second is marks equivalence between A and B. The term to translate marks an important act of representation in the design field. Can never be places emphasis on non-equivalence, while is always informed by marks the permanent impact of B on A, that is, surrounding influences on design. This paralleling of structure of can never be and is always informed by is characteristic of good writing. Pause the video now if you'd like to look more closely. In this text example that describes a physiological process which takes place under G-force, the nouns marked in red are those that have been nominalised. Again, you can see how the verbs become clear markers of effect and degree of impact. Pause the video while you read and look at this more closely. Now we're going to look at nominalisation and word choice. The words we choose to use can demonstrate our deep analysis and the particular slant or perspective we want the reader to attend to. For example, by choosing a specific adjective to accompany nouns within the noun phrase, we can emphasize certain qualities or attributions or trends. For example, reference to a previous study that records a rise in results can be qualified by the addition of an adjective that provides further information about importance, speed, value, or size of the rise, for example. And this directs the reader to interpret the data according to the writer's analytical perspective or argument. If you make use of words that reflect or highlight the actual meaning of the text, you're writing most effectively. Writing up project-led research in the creative arts is one area where this mirroring between the research motifs emerging from creative practice and the text in the dissertation component is consciously practiced. Good writing, however, is always marked by its ability to reflect the topic being written about. For example, in her thesis, Associate Professor Pia Edney-Brown intentionally selected words that would evoke the dynamic explosion in architectural styles that occurred during the 18th century in England. She uses rich language full of movement in order to signal these significant changes: turning, shifting, growing, ties loosening, a polyphony of choice, a smorgasbord of styles, mixing, stylistic differentiation. We feel the restless energy of the period she seeks to describe for us, and she deftly introduces character as the glue linking the past to this period of dynamic change. about your writing? Does your writing reflect your intention, as Pia Edney Brown's does? Here's a final word of scholarly intention from Belinda Johnson in Social Sciences. She wants to be not only a clear, concise academic writer whose meaning is totally there, but she also wants to be a writer whose work is a pleasure to read. Now that's a truly worthwhile aim for a graduate researcher. Will you take up the same challenge? We recommend you notice how others write. Are there any research articles you consider a pleasure to read? The research is rigorous, the exploration is interesting, and the text itself makes you want to read on. When you find a text like this, hold on to it, analyse its textual structure and word choice. Borrow the techniques for your own writing. Here are the references and some useful links. Pause the video if you'd like to take notes. We've been looking at nominalisation and word choice, two important considerations in academic writing. There are more activities on nominalisation in the discipline-specific PDF files located next to this workshop link. This quote from Anais Nin seeks to draw out attention to one of the purposes of all acts of writing, even research writing. The use of the word taste indicates the value of mirroring research intention with the text itself. We wish you every success with your academic writing. Cheers.